Hey Virgo, I'm doing a reading for you for the new moon in Aries. Virgo, I feel like you've been yapping in my ear for the past 30 minutes. Like there's so many messages that are like wanting to be related this time, right? But I just cannot remember any of them. Like I feel oh Virgo. First off, okay, I feel like you could be waking up and like almost like dreading like getting up and going to work, going and doing these things here that are necessary for you to like, keep your life moving and grinding, right? There's very much a space here where you're like you're waking up and it looks like kind of gloomy outside, and then all of a sudden like the sun starts shining, and I feel like that's almost like inspiring you to like continue to like put one foot in front of the other and like really put together like the things for this day that are necessary. First out we have perseverance. That's what I'm saying. Like keep going. Like I feel like there's a space here where you're just wanting to give up. You're just you feel like a little bit jet lagged here, a little bit slowed down here as well, but the fact that you're continuously going here as well, right? With that being said, I feel like there's a lot of things involving your physical activity here as well, right? Even when you are feeling like you notice how she has like a fake leg here. I feel like even though you're almost like feeling like handicapped or slowed down, or you're not really like feeling like your best, most confident self at this time, like you're still persevering, you're still pushing yourself through here as well, right? With that being said, I feel like there's a brand new physical activity here that you've been doing, and I feel like you've been very consistent in this here as well, right? I feel like this is very much a space where even if you don't feel like getting up and going for a walk or taking a jog or doing your little exercises here as well, right? You're still doing them for yourself. I feel like there's a space here where you're trying to get very healthy. You could be dealing with some stomach issues here, some skin issues. I feel like there's a space here where you're trying to work through these things here as well, right? Some health issues. I feel like you're trying to get a lot more active, a lot more physical at this time, right? With that being said, I feel like especially here in this Aries season, I feel like there's very much a space here where you're very passionate, you're very sexual here as well. You're feeling very sensual, and I feel like there's very much a space here where you're noticing you have so many different types of people, so many different types of energies like coming up to you and like almost letting you know how like good you look, or and I feel like that's almost like restoring like the self-esteem, the self-confidence within yourself here as well, right? I feel like there definitely could have been a space here in the colder months where you could have like lost some like excitement here, some passion, right? No, at this time it's all being restored, right? I feel like yeah, there's almost a space here where you're just not wanting to be bothered, you're not wanting to be taken off track here as well, right? Like I feel like you're very tunnel vision, you know exactly what your goal is. I feel like there's been a lot of meditations here as well, right? I feel like there's very much a space here where it's time for you really just to start protecting like what it is you've been like tuning into here as well, right? Like I feel like you have several different people, several different energies that have been coming up to you and like explaining like their life stories or what they're going through. And I feel like you're such a magical manifester that you start like manifesting these things or seeing these things in other people here as well, right? There's very much a space here where you're being a lot more protective over your energy here as well, right? Like I feel like you have a lot of plates in the air at this time, right? And then we have the Fool. I feel like there's you have a lot of plates in the air at this time, right? Like I feel like you're doing a lot of things. You have a lot of goals, you have a lot of projects here that you've been working on, and I feel like that's really, you're feeling inspired. Like these are things that you've been wanting to do for such a long time, right? And I feel like now's really the, ooh, I just got all tingly on my legs. I feel like now's really the time for you to really start honing in and focusing in on what it is you're trying to do. This is something that you've been manifesting into your life for years, and it's coming, it's going. Like I feel like there's very much a space here where you could definitely be dealing with an Aquarius at this time. I feel like they're being very sneaky, very shady. I feel like there could be a lot of spying going on here as well, right? I feel like you're almost like outwitting this person. I feel like there's very much a space here where you're not paying attention to this energy, right? Like I feel like they're coming up trying to have certain conversations with you, but I feel like you've yeah, and we have the Page of Swords. This is very much an energy who's been very much like spying, paying it like extra close attention to what it is you're trying to do here for yourself, right? Yes, I feel like you're outsmarting this person. I feel like this is definitely an energy that you're not really wanting to be connected to any longer here as well, right? It's not and we have the High Priestess. I feel like this could have been an energy here that you've almost been like allowing a very close connection. It could be somebody like a friend, a lover, something like that, a coworker here as well. You've almost been allowing them in your personal space here as well, right? And I feel like there came a point here where it was time for you to really separate yourself, and you knew that, right? And I feel like things could have gotten like very toxic, very weird here as well, right? And I feel like like now's really the time for this cutoff season. I feel like you have such a space here where you're really focused in and honed in on your mission, your purpose here as well. And I feel like this person could have served a purpose for you at some point in your life, but I feel like you're now realizing like, hey, like it's time to part ways. Like this has not been a beneficial person. This is not somebody who's going to add abundance to you. I wish I could. I'm sitting. Right, we have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, you're really resisting this energy. You're really resisting this person here as well, right? I feel like if you were to continue on in this friendship, if you were to continue on with this partnership here as well, right? I feel like it would lead to a lot of destruction here as well, a lot of darkness. And I feel like you're realizing that. I feel like, right? I always get the weirdos. It's fine. Yeah. I feel like there's very much a space here where you're really resisting and holding yourself back from certain people, certain energies here as well, right? I feel like there's almost a space here where you're having to take a lot more time out by yourself, to yourself here as well, right? And the reason that you're doing this, I feel like you're having such huge spiritual realizations. I feel like there's a lot of things that are very purposeful for you to see, for you to find out at this time, right? And I feel like other people could have been like almost like tampering with the downloads that were coming in for you here as well. It could have led to a lot of paranoia, a lot of frustration here as well, right? And then we have the Queen of Swords, yeah. Yes, I feel like there's very much an aspect within yourself here where you're really paying attention to the certain types of people here, the certain types of energies that you've almost been allowing. And I feel like now's really the time for you to start reflecting on what it is you're trying to do here, right? We have the King of Cups and the Star card sitting right next to each other. I feel like there's definitely a King of Cups around you at this time, right? This could be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. I feel like this is very much a healing energy, very much a nurturing energy. Oh, thank you so much for liking. I feel like if there has been any sort of like separation between you and this energy here as well, there's going to be a lot of healing. There's going to be a lot of coming togethers here as well. And the more that you're like almost tapping into this masculine water energy, the more you're having like a lot of realizations, a lot of self-growth here as well. Like I feel like they're almost helping you realize like your worth here as well. I feel like there could have been a space here where you're feeling like neglected, right? Like I feel like there's very much a space here where you're feeling like you aren't as special as this person. You weren't as, you know, you weren't right for this opportunity. You're too much, you're too little. And I feel like as this King of Cups is coming in, I feel like they're really helping you restore the aspects within yourself that you didn't even realize you had, right? And we have the Moon card. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Moon. Yeah, I feel like there's been a space here up to this point. It could have been like a masculine energy in your family. It could have been like a boss figure or something like that here as well, right? I feel like they truly value you. I feel like they see your worth. I feel like this is very much a person who looks at someone, listens to how they speak, how they walk, you know, certain aspects like this, and they see you for who you really are here as well, right? And I feel like there could have been a lot of like masculine energy in like the periods of growing up here where you just were not taken care of in the way that was how you should have been. Right. And I feel like as, oh, that made me want to cry. And I feel like as this person's coming in, I feel like they're almost like restoring and helping heal these masculine issues that you could have had growing up, right? Like this is very much something that has stemmed from your childhood here as well, right? Yes, and then we have the Two of Wands. Once you have some huge realizations as to like who you are, what it is you're trying to do here as well, right? You're being pushed into a whole different direction. I feel like there could have been a space here where you were really just accepting anything and everything, right? Like there was a space where you felt like neglected or not as loved like you should be. And I feel like as this person's coming in, I feel like it's helping you find value within yourself just by seeing how somebody else looks at you, how somebody else is valuing you here as well. I just saw 8-11. Yeah. And then we have the Ten of Wands, yeah. I feel like because of these negative issues that you've been involved in your past up to this point, right, especially involving masculinity, I feel like there's been a lot of things that could have like really torn you down, really could have consistently like pushed you down to the ground here as well, right? And I feel like there's very much a space here where as this energy is coming in, I feel like you're being healed. I feel like there's very much an aspect within masculinity where it's been very toxic, like not helpful, not healing here as well, right? There's been a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion, and I feel like when you're trying to take a step forward with certain masculine energies, it's almost like you're taking 6 steps back, right? And I feel like you're feeling this within yourself here as well, right? There's been a lot of confusion, there's been a lot of frustration here as well, right? Yeah, I feel, yeah, as you're trying to like to really move forward or go towards certain relationships or situations here as well, it's almost like it feels like you're being taken down, you're being dragged down here as well, right? And I feel like a lot of it has to do with hurtful actions or confusing conversations here as well, right? I feel like there's almost a space here where as you're connecting with certain people, certain energies, you're almost like opening up. You're almost like telling them your wish fulfillments, the things that you really want in your life, the things that you're really trying to do here as well, right? And I feel like this is an energy who almost like gives you false hope, right? Like they're almost like selling you a dream. And I feel like this is what has been very hurtful for you. You feel like you're going passionately towards your dreams, your goals here as well, right? But I feel like there's very much a space here where they could almost have been like stopping you, preventing you from getting where it is you're supposed to be going here as well, right? Yeah. I feel like once you have some huge realizations about what it is you're really wanting in this life, like if say somebody handed you like a silver platter of like everything you could possibly dream here as well, right? Um, and if you were to get it, like, is it something that you're really wanting? And I feel like you're having some huge realizations about that here as well, right? What do they say whenever you pray and your prayers aren't answered, it's like God like helping you out or something like that. I feel like there's very much a space here as well, right? There's very much a passionate space, very much a ready to go. Like I feel like you're ready to jump up and like put your shoes on and go and do these things here, right? But I feel like there's almost a space here where it's time for you to really start slowing down. I feel like there's instead of doing so many physical actions here as well, right? Like I feel like you're definitely tuning in, tapping into the emotional side of yourself at this time, right? We have the Hermit card right after this Eight of Swords, yeah, where you could have been like, I feel like there's almost like blockages, things that are like preventing you from going to certain places here as well, right? I feel like it's because there's something here that you're really realizing, like a goal, a dream, like what it is. And I feel like there's almost a space here where you're almost being sat down to like make a list, like what is it you're trying to do, like what is it, like I feel like there's a space here where there's going to be a lot of things that are, yeah, and then we have the Temperance card, a lot of things that you're having to like really slow down and like realize, like what is it, like how are you going to get there, what are the steps that you're having to take here for yourself, right? And I feel like the more that you're almost like stilling yourself, like having this quiet space, having this like time to really contemplate like what it is you're trying to do here for yourself, right? Different ideas here as well, right? I feel like you're gonna have such a huge spiritual boost at this time, right? We have the Queen of Cups, yeah. You could definitely be working around a Queen of Cups at this time. I feel like there's very much an energy, very much a space here where they're trying to like get you to really feel what it is you're trying to work through instead of like putting so many actions, right? Like I feel like now's definitely the time for you to start really tuning into your feminine energy at this time, right? We have the Five of Pentacles, yeah. If you are involved with the Queen of Cups at this time, this could be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, feminine energy. I feel like you're really trying to separate yourself. I feel like there's been very much a space here where you've been overly attached to somebody, overly attached. It could definitely be a Piscean woman here as well, right? Now is really the time for you to have like a space of independence, a space of separation here, right? Yeah, I feel like you're going through like so many spiritual upgrades, so many like spiritual promotions here, right? Like I feel like you're getting certain downloads here. And the more that you're like almost preventing yourself from being so overly attached to certain people, certain energies, now's really the time for you to turn into yourself here as well, right? Now's really the time for you to start looking at certain situations that you could have gone through here up to this point in a different light. And I feel like the more that you're doing that, the better it's going to be here as well, right? Once again, I feel like you're tuning in and tapping in a lot more into your spiritual health here as well, right? I feel like there's a space here where you're really trying to prevent yourself from going forward in too many different projects and places here, and almost like scattering yourself out, right? Like I feel like you have too many plates in the air here as well, right? And we have the King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there was definitely a separation here between this King of Swords and this Queen of Cups, right? This could definitely be somebody who, a masculine energy who uses their words a lot, right? But I feel like it's almost like smoke and mirrors. I feel like there's very much an energy here where now's really the, and we brought this up early in the reading, I feel like now's really the time for you to separate yourself in order for you to find out how you were truly feeling here as well, right? And I feel like there could have been 1313. I feel like there could have been a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities here when you first met this person that like, we're telling you run, don't go this way, and I feel like you didn't listen, right? And I feel like you could have allowed certain people certain opportunities to come in that really just were not for you. And we have the Tower card. I feel like as you're taking, like, I feel like you're almost like taking a sabbatical from certain people, certain energies here as well. And the more that you're doing this, I feel like these other people, these other energies, right? I feel like karma's coming on them tenfold, right? Like I feel like if there's been anybody that's been hurting your feelings, breaking your heart here as well, right? Like it was time for you to take that separation. It was time for you to take that break, right? And I feel like this person is definitely reaping what they sow, right? Like the more that somebody treats you so wonderfully here as well, like the more that these people get these blessings. Keep in mind, you are a spiritual being, right? You are so connected. And I feel like these people are not, right? And I feel like you're having huge realizations as to all right, guys, let's get one card out for how you can help heal this energy. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you for subscribing here as well, right? It says savings. Savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. Yeah, I feel like you are getting like a lot of like large sums of money here as well, right? And I feel like instead of like going out and spending them like you normally would, there's very much a space here where you're really slowing that down, right? Like I feel like you're not as willing to like go out and like buy fast food, or you're not as willing, like, just a whole bunch of extra like expenditures here as well, right? Like you're really slowing down on your savings. With that being said, I feel like there's also a space here where you've been like you have this large sum of money, and I feel like you're almost like freaking yourself out, like thinking like, oh, you're gonna lose all this. And I feel like instead of like realizing like, hey, this is yours to save here as well, and gradually build upon that, I feel like there's very much a space here where you're saving it in order for you to lose it, right? And I feel like there's definitely a space here with involving your financial situation where you're not being so hard on yourself, right? All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in, tapping in, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.